And hello and welcome to Mount Notre Dame High School for GGCL action here on ICRC-TV. Basketball TV. This is tonight. The Mercy McAuley Wolves will take on the Mount Notre Dame Cougars. I am Bill Bretz, doing this game solo tonight. A bit under the weather, but we'll try to do the best we can right now. So, Mercy McAuley, a new name for two schools, have been around for a long time. Those two schools combined this past summer. Both schools on the west side, they had declining enrollment. They decided a few years back to combine, and they did. And so now they're playing their first season in basketball. They have a new coach who's familiar with this place at least, and that is Nick Baltimore. Nick was the JV coach at Mount Notre Dame for 5 years, and then he also was assistant coach across the street here at Reading High School, where he was a graduate. You see Nick right there as a new head coach at Mercy McAuley. They come in 3-1, 1-0 in the league. Coach Baltimore has two first-teamers coming back from last year in Lexi Fleming and Jenna Schuster. Mount Notre Dame also coming in the game 3-1. Both teams are 1-0 in the GGCL. Of course, they are coached by Scott Rogers, who's been around this place for a long time. I think a lot of people remember when Scott, back in the early 2000s, when Mount Notre Dame put together that huge run of state championships. Scott was the head coach of three of them and an assistant coach for one. He moved over to the Indian Hill for a few years where his daughter was. He got to coach his daughter. And now he's back. He's been back here 4 years at Mount Notre Dame, and he can put another state championship in the books for him too, and back in 2017. He's got three first-teamers back from last year: Julia Heffling, Gabby Marshall, and Layla Falila. But the star right now in the first four games is a freshman for Mount Notre Dame, KK Bransford. She's a 5'9" freshman. Her varsity debut a couple of weeks ago against Africa Centric, she scored 29 points in her first varsity game. She has a 19-point average right now in the GGCL. That's six better than second place, which, by the way, is Lexi Fleming over on the other side there in the orange and white. So Mount Notre Dame, obviously a powerhouse, has been here for the years, and now Mercy McAuley. We'll see how it goes. We will be back here for the tip-off tonight's game from Mount Notre Dame High School. Don't go away.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Ohio, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Ohio. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Comets win! There's a nice feed by Hunter! And Baisley with the rip. Dean Larry, you got to load that one up. Hey, hey!
Oh, got a little wink action there.
Hey! And set. Good! The Warriors in the state final!
And welcome back here to the Mount Notre Dame High School, where tonight it is going to be the Cougars against the Mercy McAuley Wolves. A new school from actually two old schools there, and a new nickname and a new color scheme too. They're the orange and white now of the Mercy McAuley. And talking to Nick Baltimore, their head coach, before the game tonight, asked him how the tryouts went. It's interesting because you had two schools here that had two fairly good, decent basketball programs. He said tryouts were the same as any other tryouts. The best girls made the team, and they got some from Mercy, some from McAuley, and of course, obviously, some new girls there. All right, the Wolves will be tonight, as they said, they're coming in 3-1, 1-0 overall in the league. They will be starting Lexi Fleming. Lexi right now is first in steals in the league. She's a junior. Jenna Schuster, she's averaging 10 a game. She was all league, as we said, last year. Number 25, Cassie Tensing, is a senior. And number 31, Ashley Tudor and Isabel Doer. So he has right now 3 seniors, 2 juniors starting for the Wolves. Mount Notre Dame coming in. There, and right off the bat here is the freshman, number 2. That's KK Bransford, 19 of 3 a game, 6 in rebounds. That's 5th in the league, shooting 54% from field goal range this year. Also starting Makaira Cook. She's first in the league in assists at 3.8. Layla Falila, a 5'10 sophomore. She's also all league last year, averaging 9 a game. Rachel Weethy, she's a 5'9 senior, will be starting. And Julie Heflane, a 6-foot senior, first in the league in blocks, 3rd in steals. She averages 4.4 points a game, 4.8 rebounds. Our officials tonight, Jason Frayling, Mike Brown, and Kelly Whalen. Bill Bretz, glad you have joined us here tonight. As Nick Baltimore, for the first time, is on the other side of the bench here in Mount Notre Dame, as coaching the Wolves. Tip goes to the Wolves. At Lexi Fleming. Right now, Mount Notre Dame in man-to-man defense. A really tight man-to-man defense. And it's taken away by Layla Falila. Mount Notre Dame now with the ball. Heffing looking into Bradsford. Bradsford, she kicks it back out to Cook, though. There's a 3-point try off the rim by Falila. And we've played now just over a minute with no score. Fleming with the ball. And Tudor back over to Schuster. From the baseline, shot is short by Schuster. Mount Notre Dame with the rebound. Zeffling with the rebound. Cougars now, we've played close to 2 minutes with no score in this game. There's Heffling, 3-point from the baseline, no good. With her own rebound, up and in, doesn't quite fall. The foul though on the play. First foul of the game. Alexa Fleming picks up her first foul. That's first foul of the game. So Kyra Cook taking the ball out of bounds here. She triggering it in for the Cougars. Seems to be some little technical difficulty over at the scorer's table here, but holding up the ball game. I see him working on it over there. I don't know if there's something wrong with the clock here or what the deal is, but here we go. There's Bradsford, short 8-footer, got it. Kage scores the first 2 points of the game here tonight. Back the other direction now comes Fleming over to Tensing. Oh, nice feed into Fleming, and Fleming gets the first basket for the Wolves. Cook. There's Cook, the three-pointer. Got it. Kyra Cook drains the three-pointer. It's Cook's first three-pointer of the season. Another three-point from the top of the key taken by Schuster, no good, but rebounded by Dorr. Give and go there, but now Dorr kicks it back out. Schuster. Off the Tudor. And there's a foul coming up. Cassidy Tensing was fouled. Rachel Weehee picks up her first foul. It's first foul for Mount Notre Dame. And coming in the game, Gabby Marshall, number 24. Gabby averages 9.5 a game. Second in rebounds on the team. She, of course, was all-league last year, too. Marshall, senior. Three-point attempt, no good. Heffling to rebound, her second of the night. Bradsford kicks it way across the court here to Marshall. There's Heffling with the drive and Heffling with the foul. Cassidy Tensing picks up her first foul. Heffling now at the line for 2 shots. Heffling gets her first one. Heffling was 50% foul shooter going into the game. Of course, it's kind of early in the season here. Not a whole lot of foul attempts on these girls. She missed the second one, though, so she still stays at 50%. Gives the Cougars a 4-point lead and a 6-point run. And we got a travel coming up on Fleming. Heffling triggering in him right in front of the Mount Notre Dame bench. Gabby Marshall now brings the ball over the timeline. Gives it off to Cook. A little give and go to Cook. Couldn't get it quite up to stay up there, but rebounded out by the Wolves now. Isabel Dorr now. She's being guarded by Gabby Marshall. Cougars been in 1-1 ever since the beginning of the game. Man to man, I should say. Dorr back out to Schuster, now to Fleming again. Mount Notre Dame, tough defense right now. Wolves have had the ball almost a minute and just about a steal there from Cook. The Wolves get it back and throw it out of bounds. So they played almost over a minute down there and got nothing, not even a shot off. If you're familiar with Mount Notre Dame over the year, you know that Scott Rogers is tough on defense. They play one of the toughest defenses of any team in the city. There's Cook. That would have been a two-pointer if it went. Out of bounds. It's actually off of a Wolves player, so Mount Notre Dame will get it. Gabby Marshall triggers it in. Bradsford. Oh, Bradsford. Oh, he got lucky on that. The ball was to Heffley. Heffley wasn't looking, but Marshall picked it up. Good job from Gabby Marshall. Marshall with the drive. Whoa, not fall, but Marshall is fouled. Jenna Schuster picks up her first foul. That's a third on the Wolves, and that's going to be a shooting foul. So put Gabby at the line. She's a 71% foul shooter so far this season. See the replay there where she got fouled. Gabby makes her first. She gets her first point of the game. Now after the Wolves took a 2-0 lead, Mount Notre Dame has run off now 8 straight points. 3 for 4 from the line tonight. A lot of pressure now on the inbounds. Good job by the Wolves getting over the timeline. And nice defense again, preventing the shot from underneath. Well, we've gone 6 minutes of the quarter, and Nick Baltimore is yet to substitute. Ashley Tudor just picked up the offensive foul. You can see it right there where she had to push off of Heffling. 4 fouls now for the Wolves. We are under 2 minutes now of the first quarter. Brasford, she traveled. No baskets. Well, it was close. We have a nice big monitor down here with the Mount Notre Dame people watching the game behind us and seeing all of our replays. In the game for Mount Notre Dame, 44, Grace Centrula. Grace, 6-foot junior. .120 to go here in the first quarter. The Wolves had the first basket of the game about over 2 minutes into the game. They have been scoreless ever since. Low scoring quarter right now. Cougars have a 6-point lead. And that tight defense here. There's a 3-point attempt off the rim. It was by Schuster. That's her 3rd attempt from 3-point range. She almost got the rebound. Leila is back in the ball game for Mount Notre Dame. And also coming in here is Autumn Crockett, a 5'9" sophomore. It's a typical Mount Notre Dame game, a mixture of youth and experience. And I think this is what has made this program so good over the years. They don't rebuild, they just reload. Down about 30 seconds go. That is stolen by Gabby Marshall. Marshall back the other direction, short. Put back up by Crockett. Autumn Crockett with the basket. 10-0 run here now for the Cougars. And tough defense, and they're gonna 15.7 seconds ago. Nick Baltimore is gonna call a timeout because that full court pressure that they put on after they make a basket is really getting this Mercy McAuley team out of sync. So 15.7 seconds go here in quarter number 1. Yeah, Mount Notre Dame has been to the state championship, Final Four. They've been there 7 times. Of the 7 times they have been there, I'm sorry, 8 times. 8 times they have been there, they have won 6 state championships, including 4 in a row from 2006 to 2009. 2005 they were runner-up, and then they won in 2004. So that was quite a run that they had, and of course Scott Rogers was part of that run, and then came back in 2017 when they won, was part of that run too. Last year they lost in a regional semifinal to Mason. They're of course the defending league champ. 18 times they've been league champs, GGCL. 12 seconds ago here in quarter number 1. And there is a last second basket by Fleming, and she got the basket. Mount Notre Dame will not take the shot, but we have come to the end of quarter number 1 with the Cougars up 10-4 over the Mercy McAuley Wolves. The only 4 points Mercy and McAuley have scored has been all from Lexi Fleming. KK Brasford has a basket, and Makaira Cook has a 3-pointer. Autumn Cook has a basket. Gabby Marshall a couple of foul shots. Julie Heffling 1 for 2 from the foul line. That's her scoring so far in this game. Yeah, I checked today about Mercy McAuley. You know, you got two good GGCL schools combining. So how did they do their first season out? And that would be, of course, the fall season. Well, they were second in volleyball in the league, and I'll tell you more about volleyball here in a couple minutes. They tied for first with Mount Notre Dame in soccer. They were third in cross country. They were second in golf and fourth in tennis in the league. Of course, now the league's got one less team, too. It used to be Mercy and McAuley, but now they are combined, so they're down to Mercy, McAuley, Mount Notre Dame, Seton, St. Ursula, and Ursuline Academy. As far as volleyball goes, what a league this GGCL was in volleyball this past season. Ursuline ended up in the final state poll, number 1. Mercy McAuley ended up number 3 in the state. Mount Notre Dame number 4 in the state. St. Ursula number 8 in the state. How many leagues can say they've had 4 teams in the top 8 in the state in the final rankings? Of course, the Ursuline won the state championship in Division I in volleyball. So, and they all 4 made the regional semifinals too. Now, Mother Mercy was defeated by Mount Notre Dame in the regional semifinals, and then in the regional finals, Ursuline defeated Mount Notre Dame. So a lot of people think that the regional finals down this part of the state was really the state championship. But we're playing volleyball right now, or basketball. This is Bill Bretz. Glad you joined us. And Gabby Marshall, she got a 2-pointer there. She was right inside the line there. Got her first basket, 4-point. And there's a travel on Isabel Dorr. See Marshall right there. Crockett now going to trigger it in front of the Wolves bench. Brasford kind of quiet tonight. Only has 1 basket, only had 2 attempts. That one though is stolen. Alex Smith in the game now for the Wolves. She's number 15. Alex is a junior. Also in is Kieran Casey, a senior, number 2. Oh, nice feed but Fleming could not get it to drop. Gabby Marshall, three-pointer, pushed it up and over the backboard. It really wasn't a good attempt. Heffling back in the ball game. Brasford's going to take a seat on the bench now for Mount Notre Dame. And Cassidy Tensing back in the game for the Wolves. Tensing, there's a three-pointer. Off the rim, though, by Dorr. Offensive rebound, though, by the Wolves. Smith with the rebound. Oh. Smith tried to pass it to Dorr, and Dorr wasn't paying attention. Ashley Tudor back in now for the Wolves. Marshall bringing the ball over the timeline. And there is a drive by Alila. Tenzing picks up her second foul. That's a fifth foul, and that puts Feliet's at the line now. Feliet's been 50% foul shooter this year, got her first one. And her first point of the game. Karen Casey back in now for Mercy McAuley. Second attempt now by Layla. Missed it. Notre Dame with a 9-point lead now. 6:20 to go. That's a reach-in foul on Makira Cook, and I think these Mount Notre Dame people thought it was a clean hit. They're not very happy with that call, but that's Cook's first foul. It's the second on Mount Notre Dame. Fleming, 12-footer, no good. Fleming with the rebound. McKiernan. Mercy McAuley doing a pretty good job on the offensive boards here tonight, but they just have not got any scoring. And that is telegraphed. Cook, easy basket. Kyra Cook timed that perfect with the steal and the basket. 11-point lead. Schuster traveled. So the turnovers are piling up here on the that. You can see the steal right here. Look at that perfect timing there by Kyra Cook. She got every bit of that rim up there before the basket fell through. Cook's fifth point. And a timeout by McAuley. Going to be a full timeout here with 5:37 to go here in the first half with Mount Notre Dame up by 11 now in this game. You see Scott Rogers down there. Sonny Tudor right next to him with Grayson Fitzhugh. Very veteran staff down there. And you can see in the background there, Michelle Jones. Michelle Jones is the JV coach at Mount Notre Dame. And of course, people who have followed the Cougars for the years know that Michelle was part of that dynasty of championship teams back in the mid-2000s. She has come back to her school now. She's been back as a coach now for a few years. Interesting enough, she took actually Nick Baltimore's job. He was the head JV coach last year, so she took over as a head JV coach this year. All right, here we go. 5:37 to go here in the first half. Heffling into Marshall. Cook's that playmaker there. Off the half lane. Half lane, it will not fall, but she's fouled. And the foul was on. I did not get to see who the foul was on. But nevertheless, Heffeling at the line. She is now 2 for 3 tonight. Heffeling makes them both. 3 for 4. McAuley has 6 fouls, and I believe 5 of them. Oh, a block by Heffeling. That's why she leads the league in blocks. And a rubbed salt and wound. The ball goes out of bounds, and Mount Notre Dame ball. Watch this block. Just perfectly timed by Heffeling. There's Cook with the drive, a little scoop shot. I'm sorry, Bradsford, a little scoop shot. So that's KK's 4th point. Cook with the steal. There's a 3-pointer taken by Falia, but will not fall. Another steal, Heffeling. Falia. And that's the Bradsford to Falia. And Mount Notre Dame is going on a run right now. This is what this team will do to you. See Scott Rogers right there. This team can score points in bunches, and they have shown it right now tonight. Alex Smith back in the ball game along with Cassidy Tensing for Mercy McAuley. If you're wondering how they got the name Mercy McAuley, who went first, Mercy is the older high school of the two. Mercy goes back to the beginning of the 20th century. McAuley's, I think, was formed right after World War II, I believe. So Mercy got the advantage there. Marshall. And Marshall is fouled. Smith with the 5th, with her first foul, and that's a 7th. So Marshall at the line for 1 and bonus now. Misses the front end. And we got a foul coming up on Cook. Tyra Cook, that's her 2nd foul, so let's see if she's coming out of the game. She is. Cook comes out, Crockett back in now for the Cougars. Schuster, Fleming. And it's a miss. Bradsford with the rebound. Back the other direction. The Cougars are doing a good job of cutting off those lanes, making it very difficult for the shots. That's a kick. It'll be Mount Notre Dame's ball. Make it very difficult for the Wolves to get their drives in, as they doing a great job of cutting them off. Falia triggers it in. Marshall, long 3-pointer. Off the rim, battle rebound. Crockett with the rebound. Crockett in, and she is fouled. Autumn Crockett, 4 points off the bench, and she's at the foul line. Crockett has not had a foul attempt this year, so this is her first time at the foul line. She's going to try to give the Cougars now a 20-point lead. Off the rim. Keep in mind, Mercy McAuley scored the first basket of the game. And since that time, that is now only the third basket they have scored here. We've got 2:49 to go in the first half. That Notre Dame defense is definitely taking over the game. Three-point attempt, that was off the rim. And they're going to call the foul on Thalia. It was over the back. Not a popular call by the Cougar faithful, but nevertheless a call. Layla takes a seat on the bench now. Good defense again by the Cougars. 2:23 to go. Grace Centrula back in the ball game for Mount Notre Dame. Grace definitely gives him height in there with Heffling. Oh. Autumn Crockett. Autumn Crockett committed a foul as an offensive foul. Well, we got an hour offensive foul on the Wolves on Smith. That's her second. That's a 9th foul. 1:49 to go. One more, and the Cougars gonna be shooting 2. Heffling to Marshall now. Bring the ball up the floor. Heffling from the baseline. She drives from the baseline and got it. Her first basket, 5th point. 19-point lead again now for Mount Notre Dame. Oh, nice give off from Tudor. Cassie Tensing with the basket. It's her first basket, 8th point now for the Wolves. Heffling short. Bradford got. She got the offensive rebound, put it back in. Under a minute to go now. Mount Notre Dame with a rout at this point in the game. 3-point attempt off the rim by Schuster. Almost threw it away, but the Wolves still have it. 25 seconds to go. Fleming, long 3-pointer. No good. Grace Centrula with the rebound now. Mount Notre Dame not going to be content to play for one now. Up by 19 points. 10 seconds to go. And the foul is on Lexi Fleming. That's her second. That's the 10th foul on Mercy McAuley, so that put Bradford at the line. She's a 67% foul shooter. And rolls it off the rim. Their second attempt. Misses them both. 6 seconds to go. Marshall with the steal. Basket off the rim. Marshall with almost another steal. And we go to halftime with the Cougars up 27-8 over the Mercy McAuley Wolves. This is Bill Bretz. We'll be back with you for second half action here in just a moment. Don't go away.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
I remember, Dad, you and Mom got this car with a hatchback. I said, I'd be happy to give you the money to get a really great car. And he said, well, no, this works for me. I says, why? Because it's the right height to put the meals in. Dad, tell me when you first got an inkling about Meals on Wheels.
There was kind of an abandoned house. That's where we got started with Meals on Wheels. We kind of filled a need for people as they got older.
It's the human interaction that probably fed them much more than the food.
Oh, yeah. When you can see somebody else benefiting by your life in some way, you can't help but feel good about it, I think.
Well, the reason I'm involved, Dad, is because you are, and you're so inspiring. How you've impacted people is enormous.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Hi, I'm Clark Kellogg. I've attended basketball games from coast to coast over the years as a participant, broadcaster, parent, and fan. And believe me, I've seen my share of unsporting behavior. The purpose of school sports is for kids to have fun, develop their skills, and learn lessons that will last a lifetime. So when you attend a school contest, please keep that in mind. Remember to behave in a way that reflects positively on your child, your school, and your community. Let's respect the game.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Mount Notre Dame High School, where the Cougars have a commanding 27-8 lead after the end of the first half. Back here, quarter number 3 going here. Fleming has 4 points. Schuster has 2 points. Tensing has 2 points for the Wolves. 6 Mount Notre Dame players have scored, led by K.K. Bradford's 6 points. Cook has 5. Heffling has 5. Marshall 4. Autumn Crockett 4 off the bench. And Falia with 3. We'll be having those playbacks for this game at the end of the third quarter, so get pencil and paper ready here. Cook, 3-point attempt, no good. Offensive rebound. And they're going to call it a jump ball. Possession goes to Mount Notre Dame. Cougars have Bradford, Marshall, Heffling, Cook, and Falila on the floor. Heffling, 14-footer, no good. Rebound by Tensing. Almost loses the ball, but Fleming's right there. Fleming, 3-point. Got it. She has 7 of her team's 11 points. Back within 16 now. And Falia. Drive was no good. And foul coming up on Mount Notre Dame. Heffling, that's her first foul. It's the team's first foul. And we see Ashley Tudor, junior, at the line. Tudor gets the first foul shot of the night. That is the first attempt tonight for Mercy McAuley. So they've started off this quarter with 4 straight points. Misses the second one, Heffling to rebound. Marshall to Heffling, or Bradford to Heffling. Bradford back to Heffling. Heffling, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Julia Heffling. So she has picked up 2 quick fouls in this quarter. And they start that full court pressure right now. They're trying to trap them. Fleming breaks the trap though. Shot is no good. Rebounded out by the Cougars. Rachel Weefy back in the ball game, who started the game for Mount Notre Dame. Bradford with the drive, no good to Heffling. And they call Heffling, I think they called it travel. Scott Rogers not too happy over that one. You can tell that. And that basket is good by Tudor. Mount Notre Dame with the timeout. Sorry about that. So, Mercy McAuley has started this half with 6 straight points in the first 2.5 minutes. Put that in perspective, in the last 2.5 minutes, they scored 6 points. The whole first half, they only scored 8. have the ball coming out here. So willing that lead down to 13. Was up at 19 at halftime. Gabby Marshall now triggering inbounds for the Cougars. KK Brasford, Kyra Cook, Julia Heffling back over to Marshall. Heffling inside, triple team, kicks it back out to Marshall. Marshall, Fleming with the steal. Tudor, and she's got the basket. Ashley Tudor has scored all 5 of her points here in this half. 8-0 run. They've doubled their score now from the first half. Whatever Nick Baltimore said to him in a halftime has so far paid off for the Wolves. And Kyra Cook stops the bleeding there with her first basket of the half, 7th point of the game. And Cook knocks the ball out of bounds. Good defense by Kyra Cook. Smith back in the ball game. Alex Smith for that. Weethy takes a seat on the bench as Grace Centrula back in the ball game now for Mount Notre Dame. With Centrula and Heffling in a game, definitely gives the Cougars a height advantage. Both are 6 foot. Smith, and it is lost, and possession goes to the Wolves. So we play a little over 4 minutes of this third quarter. And Mercy has an 8-2 advantage in this quarter so far. It's Kieran and Casey back in the ball game for Mercy McAuley. And great defense by Cook. Fleming, no good. Fleming with the offensive rebound. I don't know how she did that. Fleming, 8-footer, no good. Offensive rebound put up and by Smith, and she is fouled. Kyra Cook just picked up her 3rd foul, and this is the 3rd of the quarter. It's a shooting foul, so that puts Smith at the line for a 1-and-1, or for 2, I'm sorry. Nothing but net for Smith. That's her first point of the game. Cassidy Tenzing back in the ball game. And Rebecca Kemper is in for Mount Notre Dame, seeing her first action, 5'8" senior. And Smith gets them both. How about that? A 10-2 run in this quarter, and it's back to an 11-point game. Marshall, 3-pointer, got it. Marshall. There's Notre Dame back to a 14-point lead. Ball kicked out of bounds, but it's not Notre Dame's ball. Bradford with the drive, and she got the basket. That's her 8th point. She's the only Cougar coming into the game averaging double figures. As we said, she's averaging 19 points a game. That is 6 better than second place Lexi Fleming in the league so far. Mount Notre Dame coach Scott Rogers, Dr. Scott Rogers. Yes, he is a doctor. He's a dentist. Over in Madeira, has a practice over there. .145 to go here in the third quarter. Cougars have found a way to slow down the Wolves a little bit. And that's the way to do it, is with Steele, Heffling, Marshall. Bradford. Oh, nice Bradford into Heffling. Beautiful feed. And timeout is called by Nick Baltimore. That was a beautiful, I don't know if we got that on a replay, but that was a beautiful feed from KK Bradford into Julia Heffling for the basket. Heffling's 7th point. You see the Mount Notre Dame team there. Scott Rogers, he's in blue shirt. Well, the dark blue shirt. There it is. There's the feed from Bradford into Heffling. Bradford, she is not playing like a freshman. She's playing like an upperclassman right now. And it seems like if you follow Cougar basketball over the years, it seems like Scott Rogers always gets a good freshman that comes in here and a lot of times make immediate impact on a varsity team. This has happened before several times over the years, and now it's happening again here with KK Bradford this year. So he said her first game of the season, she got 29 points, and that was the only loss. They lost to Africa Centric, which is a small school, but they have 5 Division I prospect players. Mount Notre Dame lost to them at the beginning of the season, 60-55. And the basket is good by. And back the other direction comes Grace Satula, answers. That was Schuster back the other direction, and Cassidy Tensing with the 3-point field goal. So a team that scored only 8 points in the first half now has scored 15 in this half. But are still behind by 15. And there's a foul, and that's going to be, Marshall was knocked out of bounds by Tudor. And that's going to be, Marshall's getting up slowly down here. There she is. And that's going to be 3 foul shots. Actually, Tudor gets her 3rd foul. It's the first foul for the Wolves in this half. 0.7 seconds ago, and Gabby Marshall's going to have 3 foul attempts coming up here. still kind of shaking it off a little bit. She was knocked out of bounds right in front of the bench. And shook it off pretty well. She got that first foul shot. She's 3 for 4 tonight. Has 8 points. She has tied Bradsford now for game high, and now she passes Bradsford as game high. It's 9 points, trying to get double figures now. Gabby averages 9.5, so she's right about her average right now. And made all 3 of them. That's shaking it off pretty well there. And that's it. So we go to the fourth quarter with Mount Notre Dame up 41-23, despite the 15 points scored in that quarter by Mercy McAuley. Mount Notre Dame answers there, 14 points. Well, I think if you stare at the screen long enough, you're going to see at the your playback times. So there you go, stare at the screen there. We're staring at the now in the Mount Notre Dame crowd out there. There it is, there's your replay time. Friday the 7th, 6 p.m. Channel 4, Channel 834. Sunday the 8th, 1 p.m. Saturday the 8th, I'm sorry, Sunday the 9th at 10 o'clock a.m. And Wednesday the 12th at 4 o'clock p.m. You can see it on both Time Warner with Spectrum cable, and also, of course, with Cincinnati Bell Fiber Optics. And of course, you can always see ICRC sporting events on ICRC-TV.com, right on the internet. We're on internet, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and there's the ugly cam right there. Some guy. I got my water right here. The help with my throat a little bit, but anyway. Glad to see you. There's Eric over there. So I'm glad. Nice job, Eric. Eric's down on the floor. He takes the hits there for the team here. So good job, Eric Johan down on the floor. Nick Baltimore right there. His team scored 15 points in this third quarter. Brought it back within about 11, but Mount Notre Dame put a bit of a run on, and they're back to 18-point lead here. Trying to see who's going to be on top of the GGCL here early on in the season here. Both teams came in 1-0 in the league. Bradsford kicks it back out to Heffling. Cook, nice acrobatic catch by Cook. Into Bradsford. Bradsford the turnaround in the paint. She got it. KK now has double figures for the 4th time this season. 5th time this season, I'm sorry. (43-23). That's a first 20-point lead I believe we had in the night. And nice baseline drive by Cassidy Tensing. Tensing now has 7 points. There's the 3-pointer and drained by Gabby Marshall. Gabby Marshall now has 13 points. Second Cougar get into double figures. Actually, she was already in double figures, 10. And high off the rim. And we got a foul coming up underneath. It was called on Joey Heffling. That's her 3rd foul, and that's the team's 4th. Elise Schindler, number 13 in for Mercy McAuley. We've seen her first action tonight. Autumn Crockett back in now for the Cougars. Once again, that Mount Notre Dame defense, this is a team that needs to score and needs to score fast, and they're keeping them from even making a shot. There's a shot now taken by Fleming, and there's a three-pointer. She got it. Oh, travel, no good. Autumn Crockett did not like that call, that's for sure. Fleming, by the way, now has, actually, I think that was Dorr. That was Isabel Dorr. It's her first three-pointer, first points of the game. 46-28, 5:37 to go in this game. And there's a drive by Cassidy Tennessee. She's got 9 points. 16-point lead now for Mount Notre Dame. High off the backboard by Bradford, but KK could not get it to fall, but she is fouled. Lee Schindler picks up her first foul, and that's a second foul. But that is a shooting foul here, so that puts KK Bradford at the line. She missed her first 2 foul shots, got that one though. That's 11 points now. Layla Fila is back in the ball game for Mount Notre Dame. And Alex Smith back in for Mercy McAuley. Good shot of the freshman there. Misses the second one, but offensive rebound by Falia puts it back in. Layla Felia with the putback, and she now has 5 points. 19-point lead now for the Cougars. Oh, nice drive in the paint. Ball tipped around and out of bounds, I think. Mount Notre Dame ball, Heffeline triggering into Marshall. Marshall met at fat court by Lexi Fleming. Off to Heffeline and back to Marshall. It's a 2-pointer if it goes. No good. Brasford with the rebound and knocked down. And they're going to call a foul. And foul is Ashley Tudor. That's her 4th foul, and that's the 3rd foul. It's not a shooting foul, so she's going to come out of the ball game right now. Tana Schuster is back in the ball game for the Wolves. Bradford, knocked away. Good defense by the Wolves. Put the ball back. 3-point attempt off the rim there by Dorr. Dorr may win earlier from that point. This time it's going to be Fleming, but Cook with the rebound. Cook being tied up, looking for somebody to toss it off to, and timeout. Scott Rogers calls a timeout as Cook was getting tied up underneath there. Mount Notre Dame, their next game, they're going to be going across the river here. They're going to play on the 13th of December. They're going to play at, are going to have a game with Campbell County. Obviously, they're not going to cross the river. Campbell County's coming here. Campbell County's going to be coming here. Then on the 29th of December, they'll be at Roger Bacon. That will be their last 2 games here in 2018. As far as Mercy McAuley goes, they will stay over on this part of the town here. On the 11th, they're going to be at Ursuline Academy. Then on the 15th, they're going to be up at Fairmont. Actually, that game is going to be played at Mercy McAuley. I think it might be a tournament there. So, and then they finish up at home for the month of December with Wayne High School at Lakota West, and that's that Lakota West tournament they have up there every year at the end of the month. So Mercy McAuley got a couple of tournaments look like coming up here. There's Mount Notre Dame looking ahead. They'll be in January. They'll be up at the Classic in the Country again. They go up there almost every year up at Berlin, Ohio. Tremendous tournament that they have up there. Have teams from all over the state and all over the nation have come to that tournament. They play multiple games up there. They play 2 games up there over the weekends, over the Martin Luther King weekend that they have it. You don't know where Berlin is. It's a very small town. It's an Amish country in eastern Ohio. And, but boy, they run a heck of a tournament there. And that's why they call it Out in the Country, Classic in the Country. Gabby Marshall drive, no good. Bradford with the rebound put back, and she is fouled. KK is tough off of those boards, too. As she said, she averages 6 a game. She's had a couple of good offensive rebounds here tonight. Makes that one. She is now 2 for 3 from the line. Has 12 points. They got 13 now. So she ties Gabby Marshall for game high, 13 points so far. Kiernan back in the ball game. Casey for the Wolves. And that's going to be a push by Gabby Marshall. She kind of knew that. She had that look on her face like, whoops. That's her second foul. That's the 5th foul on the Cougars, so it's not a shooting foul. So with 2:40 to go. Wolves trigger it in. And that is blocked by Bradford. And Heffling picks it up. KK's done just about everything tonight. Offensive boards, blocks, shots. And only a freshman. Kyra Cook with the drive, and no good, but Schindler with the rebound. Back the other direction. Fleming was trying to go between 2 Mount Notre Dame players and went to the floor. They finally called the foul on Gabby Marshall. It's her 3rd, team 6th. It is a shooting foul though. Fleming at the line. First time tonight. And she makes it. Fleming now has 8 points. And got that one. 9 points. She ties Tennessee now for team high. And Nick Baltimore has called his 4th timeout here with 2:08 to go. And his team down by 19 points right now in this game. We hope to be bringing you a lot of ICRC basketball this year. We're going to be kind of thin as far as our games here in December. We usually pick it up pretty good in January, so we usually have quite a few games in January. So kind of looking at the website, ICRC-TV.com, to find out what's coming up and the games we have for this season. We talked about Nick Baltimore graduated from Reading High School, which is right across the street from here. Of course, a lot of people know that Reading has a new K-12 facility that they're building over there. They tore down the old high school. They've been down in the central building here now this is their 2nd year down there for the Reading High School. They've been playing their games, their basketball games are being played up at Sports Plus in Evendale. But the new facility is coming right along. It is scheduled to open in August of 2019. And
It's undercover right now, so that's what their goal was, to try to get the building undercover so they can do a lot of work here during the winter. So come up here in the Reading Hilltop up on the Columbia Avenue and take a look at it sometime. It's right across the street here from Mount Notre Dame. And Kyra Cook traveled, she could not catch the ball there. So what they'll do is they will tear down Reading Hilltop Elementary, and the central building will be torn down now after they opened up the brand new K through 12 complex. So exciting time here for the people who are ready. And Cook with the reach in. That's fourth foul, and that's a seventh foul, so it's going to be 1-1 now as this puts Ashley Tudor at the line. 1 for 2 tonight. And I think some of the players forgot it was 1-1. I looked down and did not see what happened on that. So I heard the reaction from the crowd, but you know what? You saw what happened. So I think we could have a replay coming up here. Maybe the replay will let me know what went on there. Well, when you're doing it solo, sometimes you have to look down. So we'll see what happens. 1:30 to go in the game. Mount Notre Dame, comfortable 19-point lead here as the Cougars will win their 4th game in a row. Off the rim by Tensing. Tudor. And there is, and that is blocked by Heffling. It's at least 2 tonight she has. She came in #1 in the GGCL in blocks. And there it is. Knocked out of bounds by Felia. So we see Grace Centrula back in the ball game. Heffling takes a seat on the bench. Julia had a good game here tonight, scored 7 points. Couple block shots, some nice rebounds. Another day at the workplace here for Julia Heffling. Senior has done a good job over the years here at Mount Notre Dame. Bradsford over to Cook. Feed it back to Bradsford, and whoa, nice little give and go. Cook with the assist, Bradsford with the points. And that's 13 for her. 15 for her. Cook, Bradsford again. This time was a little too deep under the basket. 11 seconds ago, Mount Notre Dame might be just content to run the clock out right now. And they will. Gabby Marshall will hold on to the ball as Mount Notre Dame will win this game by the score of 53-32. KK Bradsford, leading scorer tonight with 15 points for Mount Notre Dame. Gabby Marshall picked up 13. Lexi Fleming, Cassidy Tensing had 9 each. As Mount Notre Dame Cougars run their record to 4-1, 2-0 in the GGCL. Mercy McAuley drops to 3-2, 1-1 in the GCL. So that is your action here tonight from Mount Notre Dame High School. Thanks to Josh Centrup and the entire ICRC crew that's did a great job here tonight. You're going to see their names on the credits when they're coming by. We see some of the highlights of the game right now. With that, this is Bill Brett saying final 53-32, the Cougars over the Wolves. Goodbye from Mount Notre Dame High School.